All right, Sam. 7 Up. 3 words or less.
I'm going to give it to you in one, Mike. I'm going to say crispy.
Ooh, I like it. Classroom game.
That's the wrong 7 Up, Mike.
I know, I know,
Oh,
I know. But
boy.
but to be honest, I think that's kind of where I'm headed here.
Okay.
All right, so 7 Up rebranded, and before we even look at the rebrand, I just got to say, like, I just don't get 7 Up. Like, and maybe it's just me. Maybe there's other people out there that just love it and they get it. I'm like, it's another lemon lime soda. I just,
hmm
I mean, there's already a bunch of them. So
Yeah.
yeah, okay, it tastes a little different. I get that. Um, so yeah, let's look at the rebrand. Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Well, as always, Mike, we're going to kind of break this down. And at the end of the video, we're going to say whether or not we think this rebrand is remarkable or not. So stick around for that. Here it is. Here's the
There's the new
big,
one.
big 7 Up rebrand. And Mike, we were talking about this before the recording. And really, I mean, is this even a rebrand or is it just a repackaging?
I think it's just a repackaging. I wouldn't call it a rebrand. Like maybe it's just a refresh. I mean, they did change the logo a little bit.
Yeah. Here's kind of the old
I mean, that one's
logo.
the old school one.
Yeah.
They've had a lot of different iterations. Um, I don't know. We were talking about this earlier. I'm like, what's what's really communicated here that's different other than like, ooh, new.
Yeah.
And then even like, I mean, they had their new little like launch slogan, which is I'm gonna read it here: "New get up, same 7 Up." I mean, I like it. That's
Wow.
fun, but all they're saying is like, new look, same great taste, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of times when product brands do this, it's just a PR stunt. It's
Yeah.
like, hey, sales are slacking. Maybe we've lost a little bit of interest in the markets and people don't really care about us anymore. And so we just need to do something new in order to get some PR buzz.
hmm
And then it's back to business as usual because at the end of the day, like the product's not any different, right? It tastes the same as it used to. And I get like, okay, there's this whole like, product brands like this, especially sodas and drinks, want to be part of like a cultural conversation, I guess. And that's what they're aiming at. If you read some of the quotes from, people that worked on the project, that's kind of where they're leaning. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't know that the rebrand really does that for you. Maybe it sets you up for it, but you look at like great product brands that really become cultural icons, it's because they're telling a really unique story. You think about like Gatorade, right? Like the origination of that brand came from like this idea of a coach who's like desperate to figure out how to keep his guys hydrated on the football field. And so he comes up with this formula and it works. And then you couple that with we're going to put it on every bench of every NFL and every NBA team and every single sport that we can think of. And we're going to get, massive endorsements from big celebrities. And then you become a cultural icon of a product. I mean, that's like the Nike formula, in and out. And I don't see that with 7 Up. I just
Yeah.
see, hey, we changed some colors, the logo, the packaging, but I don't really see a story. I don't see how you've connected this to any larger kind of idea.
Yeah.
And I just don't care. Like, just be really honest. I just don't care. Might be
I
giving away our remarkable or not at the end, but
I think, Mike, this is 7 Up has been on the decline for a while. And I mean, we're talking back like what in the 70s before you and I were born. And so it's just been on the decline. And I think, it's just this is an appeal to younger audiences, which is interesting because maybe 20 years ago or 15 years ago, like the more modern, everything's flat.
Mhm.
Everything looks kind of edgy. It has a sharp edge to it. Uh, I think the younger generations are actually not into that as much, right?
No,
The younger
I mean, if you're going
generations
like,
are
yeah,
they they like kind of that old school feel. So I hope that's not why they did this, because I don't think it's going to work if that's
Even
why they did
even
it, to try to get some of those younger customers back.
even if you're just chasing like style trends, right? Like what's
Yeah.
hot right now? It's like everything is harkening back to the 70s and 80s,
Yeah.
maybe early 90s, some mishmash of those cultures. And I feel like they really lost an opportunity to go back to some things that worked and were just so iconic about 7 Up. Like
Yeah.
that early, I can't tell which dates those are, but that really pop green 7 Up with the dot between the 7 and the up, that is
This
like
one.
quintessential, like classic 7 Up.
Yeah.
And I think actually a lot of young people today would gravitate towards a brand that really captured that nostalgia and
Yeah.
feel.
I
Now,
agree.
maybe they did some market research and they know something I don't know. I hope they do, because I am no expert on soda brands.
Yeah.
But even that is like you're just chasing a market who's constantly going to be shifting their preference and taste.
Yep.
And I feel like there's still like, what's your story?
Yeah.
What makes you you? What makes you 7 Up? And I'm just not getting it. I'm not seeing it. You know, they
Yep.
used to have the tagline Uncola,
Yeah.
the Uncola, and perhaps that's where they're missing. Now, granted, they've got some major headwinds. You know, they're still chock full of sugar. Um, the world that we live in now is not very amenable to, you know, high sugar soda brands
Yeah.
anymore. But
Yeah.
you know, I wonder if there's an opportunity to maybe head in a little different direction with an old ethos, right? Like bring back the
Yeah.
ethos of the Uncola,
Yeah.
and maybe even say, hey, how could we rethink even our product line to get us to where we can still be the Uncola today? Like we always
Yeah.
forever stand as the Uncola. I don't know. That'd be
Yep.
my pitch. I don't care to help 7 Up rebrand, but
What's your verdict, Mike?
no, not remarkable. I'm not feeling it. And I think we covered it already, but I'm just not feeling it. How about you, Sam?
No, I agree. I think, we'll get to a rebrand maybe where we disagree, Mike, but I agree. I think it would have been really cool and really newsworthy if 7 Up was like, we're going back to the 70s. We're going back to
Yeah,
the 70s. Come
yeah.
back with us. We're the Uncola, right? Let's go
Yep.
back to a time where sticking it to the man was cool and you can go sit outside and drink your cola with your skateboard. But they kind of went, it feels like they're 20 years too late on this like edgy modern repackaging. And it makes me
Even
sad, Mike.
you look at like their like kind of promotional photos. I've got some up here right now, and like they're not punk rock.
Yeah.
They're not like counterculture. Um, man, I feel like they just missed a huge opportunity, but I don't know.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Sad.
That's just me. So not
Sad.
remarkable.
Not remarkable.
Nope.
But guess what, Mike? You are remarkable.
Oh,
And that's what we're all about here on this channel. We'd love to know what you think of the 7 Up rebrand or repackaging as we think it is. Get your comments in below. Smash that like button. And we'd love it if you'd subscribe to the channel. We're going to be coming out with a lot more videos in the coming weeks, months, and hopefully years, Mike. And as
and
always,
don't forget, you are remarkable.